Hey Mopey, never heard of it. Yeah, so let's talk about what the heck this thing is, because I feel like I remember hearing of this title before, but I definitely never played it. Apparently its origin is actually a tabletop RPG that started around 2005, 2006. I think with like Spanish or French influence or something. But yeah, I don't know. Somehow the name seems familiar. I did a little bit of poking around about it. Um, Seems cause like I played like 2 minutes of this just to, again, to make sure it's working okay through Proton for me and everything. Seems to be working smoothly. It immediately strikes me as being, definitely not your top tier ARPG or anything. It also strikes me as being very we have Nier at home. Not even Nier Automata, like OG Nier from like 2000, what was it, 2009, 2011, something like that. Makes me glad I have played both of those, and shoutouts to Boogaloo, who was kind of one of the main proponents of me, especially in terms of getting me to play the first one, because I played Automata first. So it feels kind of like budget Nier, well, you can kind of tell because our character over there has a book, so, perhaps a grimoire? I don't know. All I know is if it starts talking about a hussy, we'll have a case on our hands. That was a really crappy impersonation of Grimoire Vice from, Nier. So, supposedly some of the main criticisms of the originals were really awful camera controls, and really awful voice acting. From what I've seen of people, so this is one of those demos that has a dedicated demo page. I managed to scope out a couple of reviews that actually, like, compare against the original. There's definitely some, like, balance tweaks and stuff in terms of, like, the combat mechanics and how stamina works and stuff. Yes, there's stamina, so I'm a little bit worried, but I don't think this is supposed to be a Souls-like. If it is, I am going to be very rudely surprised. But a lot of people said the camera is better. From what I could hear, the voice acting is still awful. Okay, it's just not good. Let's put it that way. The voice acting is extremely campy, is kind of the impression I get from this. So don't expect super stellar voice acting. But hopefully we can enjoy it. The combat seems smooth enough, so we'll see what there is to that. You haven't played Nier, but Nier looked budget to me as well. I imagine that's kind of the impression that a lot of people got. The first Nier game definitely had more warts to it than Automata. Like, Automata, they brought in frickin' Platinum Games, right? So they knew what the fuck they were doing. The original Nier definitely, like, I don't know, wasn't as good, and I really didn't like the amount of grinding that you had to do for, like, some of the end game or ending stuff. That just felt like busy work at the end of the first Nier. But, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't as bad as people probably made it out to be, although, like, I guess it's, like, the locales that it visits seem kind of limited, I guess, is kind of one of the, like, there's very few, like, environmental themes going on in the first Nier. It feels like it could have done more with that, but it definitely, like, even the first Nier already started doing kind of the trippy stuff with, like, multiple routes and endings and stuff. So, both of those games were like that. From what I've seen just of, like, names of videos for this game, because I saw, like, speedrun videos and stuff, there are multiple endings to this as well. I don't know if it branches out the way that Nier and Nier Automata do. Nier Automata has a ridiculous amount of endings. I only got a fraction of them. But I got all of the main ones, at least. So, like, I experienced the majority of the game that you're supposed to experience, which is probably more than some people did with that. Like, probably some people got, like, halfway or less and called it good. In terms of, like, all of the main plotline endings in Nier Automata that they could get. But yeah, enough about Nier and Nier Automata. Let's go look at the store page for this. Now, this game does not keep the music going when I Alt-Tab. But I have a contingency for that, which is I have the soundtrack in another window. So let's see what we can get out of that. I don't know if this is going to auto-advance, but at least we'll have some kind of music. Do I need to increase the volume a little bit? Alright, there we go. Let me bring up the store window. So this is called Anima Gate of Memories 1 and 2 Remaster. So the original games were Anima Gate of Memories, and then there was like a subtitle on the second one. That I think has to do with like one of the characters. So the store page describes it as a third-person action RPG that brings to life the world of Gaia from the Anima Beyond Fantasy RPG tabletop books. Because like I said, this started out as a tabletop RPG. Explore a deep and multifaceted story where your choices and actions directly impact the journey and decide the fate of the characters. And it seems like they've got like their own development and publishing studios going on. And they do have news posts. They had 2 dev broadcasts, one at the beginning of Next Fest and actually one later today. About this game, Anima Gate of Memories 1 and 2 Remaster brings together 2 acclaimed action RPGs in one enhanced game. Anima is a third-person action RPG that weaves together 2 fates, one of a legendary monster and a mysterious girl with no memory of her past, the other of an immortal soul cursed to wander the world forever. Their existence will take an unexpected turn when they discover all of them have been involved in something sinister, a war in the shadows in which they will have an involuntarily leading role in opposing sides of the table. Experience the original Anima Gate of Memories and its companion story Anima The Nameless Chronicles, both fully remastered with improved visuals and gameplay. So yeah, The Nameless Chronicles is the second one. So like if you look on Steam, you will find each of these 2 things as separate. Like, Anima Gate of Memories and The Nameless Chronicles as 2 separate entries, but they're bundling them together for the remaster. Both fully remastered with improved visuals and gameplay. Explore a rich fantasy universe inspired by the Anima Beyond Fantasy tabletop RPG saga, filled with deep lore, fast-paced combat, and branching storylines shaped by your choices. Whether you're new to the saga or returning, this is the ultimate way to discover the world of Anima. Oh, they've got like a comparison of the visuals here a little bit. I mean, it looks like you can actually see stuff, so, you know, that's good. Features a deep story. Uncover the secrets of the Tower of Arcane in a mysterious tale where nothing is as it seems. Your choices shape the journey, and your actions determine the fate of those within. A combat system which combines RPG elements with fast-paced action. Unleash spectacular and dynamic move chains with the duel system. Seamlessly switch between characters with a single button to create thrilling combos. Charlotte, Jonathan, Charlotte, Jonathan, no. An interconnected world full of unique locations made of memories. Travel through the Tower of Arcane, discovering its secrets. Each character has a large set of special skills that you will be able to develop and customize as in a traditional RPG. Yeah, we can imagine actually being able to see the environments. So let's see. Not really getting too specific in terms of hardware requirements. It's just giving you basically like the API requirements, essentially. I would think that there should really be more specifics as to like what minimum CPUs and GPUs are known to work. Alright, well, that's the store page. Let me get back into the game. We can turn off the soundtrack now. And yeah, I guess it did auto-advance correctly. Alright, so first of all, this is not the first thing you see when you open the game. What you first see when you open the game is actually the game select screen, which is this. So you pick between Anima Gate of Memories and Anima Gate of Memories, The Nameless Chronicles, that being the second game. I guess there might be demo content for both. I don't know how spoilery it is to, like, play the second one before finishing the first one. But let's see how the first one goes first. We're gonna start a new game, of course, but let's look at the options first. So how many languages do we have? We have English, Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, and Hungarian, and for some reason, Spanish and French are actually described in their native tongues, and then they gave up after that. And these are all just English. So that's weird. So you've got independent music, sound, and voice volume sliders. I might have to keep an eye on the balance there. You've got camera sensitivity, which I did already tweak somewhat, I think. That basically means, like, you know, how fast your right stick moves your camera. You've got invert, In gameplay, we've got damage numbers, I guess. Auto-rotating the camera. Oh yeah, one of the things that somebody mentioned in the demo reviews, like imagine a demo review actually being helpful, holy crap. One of the things someone mentioned was auto lock-on didn't work very well on the original game. And it works better here. Or I don't know if it's that lock-on, I don't know if there was no auto lock-on on the original, but basically they said something to the extent of like the camera would just kind of like decide to do its own thing and point entirely not the direction you want it to. And that has been resolved in this version. We've got minimap toggle, enemy life bar toggle. In addition to damage on enemy, we've got enemy life bars. Vibration, good, you can turn vibration on or off. There's another thing there. Oh, select difficulty. Okay, why is that grayed out? Is it because I already started it? It'll probably give me the option when I restart it anyway. We go into graphics, so one weird thing here is there's no windowed option. Like, you're full screen and you're gonna like it. And that's it. There is a quality drop-down. Fastest, fast, simple, good, beautiful, fantastic. That's a lot of quality settings, but it is just one quality setting for everything. There's not really any advanced. There's anti-aliasing. There's gamma, which... Oh, of course, it's the adjust the brightness until the image to the left is barely visible. I'm not seeing an image to the left. Oh, if I sit straight up, then I see the image to the left. Yeah, it's very barely visible. Alright, I don't want to mess with it too much, though. It did actually save it. Select and back, I guess, both do the same thing on that screen. You can turn VSync on and off. I don't think there's any Portuguese, actually, at all. Yeah, it's like, well... You've got a few of the usual European suspects, but yeah, Portuguese of any form is oddly missing. You've got Chinese and Japanese, no Korean either. So the game is going to bomb because no Brazilian Portuguese and no Korean. But they've got Hungarian, though. Which is not something you see every day. Did we look through everything? Oh, we didn't look through key bindings. Which... There's reset keys next to key bindings, so I guess that makes it easier to get to. So, the menu items get kinda tiny here. We've got attack, we've got transformation, jump, dodge is on right trigger, interestingly. We've got skills on the left bumper and trigger, and Y and B. We've got, okay, so we've got special operations on each of the D-pad directions. We've got map and then 3 items. Target enemy on the right stick, inventory on the back button. So I guess presumably the inventory menu is like the hub for all of the things. And then the start menu is like system menu. Okay, let's start the timer and start the new game. Yeah, so here it lets you pick difficulty. It doesn't actually title the sub-menu, it just gives you difficulties. There's no descriptions of them either. Okay, and then you pick a slot, so I guess we can't... I'm guessing we can't, like, copy slots. I feel like this is the kind of game where you might want to be able to copy from one slot to another. So it seems kind of bad that you can't do that. You know, the whole... given the whole...
Some say that the world is coming to an end. Maybe they're right.
Given the whole, like, multiple endings thing.
For more than a year, everything has been plunged into chaos. The sacred Holy Empire of Abel, once a symbol of power and stability, has fallen. Broken and fragmented, the nations that were once part of it sought after the empty throne, and now the shadow of an insane war threatens to engulf everything. Oblivious to the conflict, the Order of Nathaniel, founded centuries ago to keep humanity safe from what lurks in the night, continued its restless fight against the dark. Over the ages, the Order waged countless secret wars, always hiding from mankind that the monsters who walked among us, our darkest fairy tales, were still there. And then, 2 days ago, something unexpected happened. While the Order was negotiating a way to stop the upcoming conflict with the warring states, the Red Lady, a high-ranking member of Nathaniel, stole one of the artifacts that the organization had sealed in the dark long ago. The Biblos, a book written with the blood of the founder of the Order. Nobody knew why she took it, nor the importance of the artifact, But I, Romeo Exet, leader of Nathaniel, did. Understanding what was at stake, I was forced to send the best agents of the organization to recover it at any cost. As fate would have it, amongst all of those agents, it would be the girl with no name, a cursed child bringing calamity with her, who would find it.
Is that nameless?
This place is devastated. I didn't think that the war had already come this far.
Ignore that nonsense, baby. What mankind does doesn't concern us. Our prey is near, I can tell.
At last we will have some fun.
What is it? Uneasy? That's not like you. You have nothing to fear. You are the bearer of calamities. You have at your disposal the most powerful weapon in the whole of creation, sealed in a damned book. You've got me.
Shut up.
Yeah, feels a bit less like Grimoire Vice and more like maybe Marcosius from Shakugan no Shana, who is always being told to shut up and is always being punched. Alright, nothing behind us? Wow, the camera... When you jump, the camera moves, like, very, very fast. That's gonna take some getting used to. I might never get used to it. You jump very high, too. And can you affect your jump height? A little bit, maybe. Can't even land on this box because, like, I jumped too friggin' far. Screw it. Destroy the box if I can't land on it. Oh, right, the other thought I was thinking was, like, in the intro, the dude narrating, whose name I already forgot, because at some point he identified himself, was like, nobody knows, blah, 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 except me. And I'm like, that means no, not nobody. Like, if you know it, then are you nobody? So the writing already seems a little bit, mediocre. Oh. I suppose, yeah, who needs a ladder when I can just jump? Might actually have to lower the sensitivity. I thought I already messed with this. I also might have to, like, increase the volume of things, because they're actually seeming very quiet now. Also, the menus are oddly silent.
Welcome, Bearer of Calamities. I knew they would send you. Unfortunately, you've come too soon. I have not finished yet.
Well, this is the lady who stole the book, supposedly, right?
Lady, in recognition of your years of work for the Order, I will give you a chance to surrender and return the Biblos.
Wait. She pronounced it Biblos. I was gonna comment on this because in the introduction they pronounced it Biblos, and I was like, I would have said Biblos. She would also say Biblos, so they can't decide which way to pronounce this. So that's good. Within the first 5 minutes of the game, I have discovered inconsistent voice dialogue.
As pragmatic as ever. Well, I didn't expect a greeting from you.
Also, the voice lines are clipping.
What have you done with this place?
Make no mistake, Bearer of Calamities, I had nothing to do with the destruction of this city. Its inhabitants left before the armies of the Empire arrived. To prevent them from taking it, the people set it on fire and killed everyone who wanted to stay.
That sounds a little hard to believe.
It's human nature. War, murder, death. It is something you should already be accustomed to.
I didn't come here to listen to your pointless speech. Give me the artifact. I will not ask again.
Unfortunately, I'm not finished with it yet. But don't worry. I've prepared something to entertain you and your creature.
So, I'm wondering if these are two opposing books, like the two grimoires in Nier.
Goodbye forever, bearer of calamities.
Wait! Damn.
Okay, so that's the auto lock on. Oh, we got a freaking Hadouken. And he dodged it easily. We also have, yeah, I was gonna say, we also have a lunge attack. You really do want to be auto lock on at all times. Oh, I got hit. Okay, so as opposed to yesterday where I was really having trouble doing, like, recovery, doing, counter spells in, No Need for Flowers, in this you actually have a second to react. Wait, what did that say? Oh. No? Was that right trigger again? What did it just say there? It said something about an energy counter or something, but I thought it showed the trigger button again. So I don't actually know what the hell that said. Oh, what the hell? I have another character. Also, I have a launch ability. It would be nice if I had a slam ability to go along with it. I guess they tried to do a dramatic slow-mo at the end.
You didn't pounce on that woman. Did you know her?
She is one of the people who took care of my indoctrination after I signed my pact with you.
Something like your teacher, eh?
Shut up.
New diary entry. How do we find those? So this is when you press the back button. This is the menu you get. So we have stats, which I guess doubles as your equip menu. Funny how we have no weapons equipped, and yet I was clearly attacking with something. Skill tree. Wait, what? Skill tree just has nothing right now? There's items. Here's memories. Oh, does tutorials show... Oh. Tutorials shows a lot of stuff that I haven't even dealt with yet. I was kind of hoping it would go over the thing that I missed. Okay, there's actually different numbers depending on physical versus magical and who performs the attack. So, generally things with red in them, whether red or magenta, are enemy attacks. There are certain features that provide special abilities to your attacks. Oh, no, that's not what I was thinking this would be about. Although launcher, I guess, is something I've already seen. Probably don't want to read the rest of these yet. What is special abilities? That's regeneration and stuff, okay. But also... Oh, is this the diary entries? Okay. Like, they said new diary entry, right? And then I'm, like, looking for what menu that is, because there's no menu labeled diary. You would think that a remaster would, you know, at least spend maybe 5 minutes making sure shit's actually consistent. So, like, I'm sorry, but this game already still looks very mediocre because, like, they haven't performed, like, extremely basic consistency checks. The Holy Empire of Abel. The Sacred Holy Empire of Abel is the first cultural, economic, and military power of Gaia. It was established 700 years ago after a great war that broke the world apart and marked the end of myths and superstitions. The empire itself was formed by many different countries, independent nations that were unified after the conflict. The emperor rules above everything as a supreme figure that embodies all the political and religious power, although each nation is virtually independent. Directly under the throne, the most important institution is the High Senate, formed by the leaders of all the countries within the Sacred Holy Empire, who acts as spokesmen for their lands. The Empire has forbidden all supernatural skill or power, considering them too dangerous to be used without control and supervision. For the normal people, magic and monsters are just fairy tales, and only a small number of selected agents under the service of the throne are allowed to use in secret supernatural forces? To use secret supernatural forces, or to, like, engage in secret supernatural forces. So, alright, grammar error. The Empire has enjoyed stability and prosperity since its birth, but in recent times it entered in a process of decline that culminated with the madness and death of the last emperor. Without a direct heir, the countries that were once part of the High Senate have started a revolt, breaking away from the Empire and claiming the power for themselves. It's only a matter of time that a war for the throne begins, a conflict that will shake the very foundations of the world. Nathaniel, the order bearing the name of one of the enlightened apostles, is the most hermetic society of the world of Gaia. It is linked to the Church of Abel, but it has existed even from older times with different names. The organization specializes in investigating and analyzing strange events to find out the truth behind them, but it covers a great variety of other functions. However, its ultimate goal is preventing the destruction of the world, and for that reason, they have fought in the past many dangers that threaten it. That's a weird order of words there. Its members either possess supernatural abilities or are talented occult researchers. They compile all kinds of information about the cases they are involved with, as well as any other additional revelation they can find. Due to this, the records of Nathaniel had no rival. They have been collecting data about all the secrets in the shadows of Gaia for 5 centuries. The Order acts as an independent, clandestine society within the Church, and is only linked to the High Archbishop. Nevertheless, in practice, their services may be requested by many different individuals as long as they keep the required protocol and secrecy. Kings, bishops, and even the Emperor may call for Nathaniel intervention to investigate supernatural cases or signs. The Order frequently collaborates with the Inquisition, although the methods of both organizations tend to collide. One of them likes comfy chairs, the other doesn't. Nathaniel is led by a secret council in the shadows, and the only known members are the Supreme Inquisitor Romeo Exit, that's who narrated the intro, the current leader of the Order, who represent the Church, and Lady Elianai. Many Nathaniel agents are mystics or exceptional fighters, but not all possess combat abilities, so for when they need tactical support, the organization has a small division named Custodium in charge of protecting and helping its members. Each of these guardians has a combat potential equal to an army battalion. Sometimes the agents even use the same dark powers that they fight. Nathaniel keeps many secrets and dangerous artifacts hidden, like the book in which Ergo is sealed, or the Biblos, or Biblos, the game can't decide how to fucking pronounce it. A group of prophecies which describe how 21 creatures called the Messengers could cause the end of the world. Well, that seems like it might be a big part of the plotline, yeah. The Bearer. I think that's us. The Bearer is a 20-year-old girl who works for the Order of Nathaniel as Hunter of Nightmares. A decade ago, she unknowingly awakened the demonic entity Ergo Mundus. Mundus? Well, that's straight out of Devil May Cry. And made a pact with him while he was sealed in the Book of Void. This unholy act allowed her to partially control the creature and share some of his powers. Control him, like telling him when to shut up. Doesn't seem to be working very well. The Bearer has no name, since it's... Okay, so the Bearer and Nameless are probably two different things. Given that Nameless is supposed to be the subject of the second game. The Bearer has no name, since as part of her pact with Ergo, he devoured it. You can't just devour names like that. No one can remember what she was called before, so her companions refer to her as the Bearer of Calamity, as the given title of anyone who holds the power of Ergo Mundus. The Bearer is not only trained to be a remarkable fighter by her own right and... Okay. Another awkwardly structured sentence. The Bearer is not only trained to be a remarkable fighter by her own right and has an outstanding magical knowledge... Has a outstanding magical knowledge? So many things about this sentence are wrong. But she can also Like, the not only is linked to the but also she can use Ergo's, and Ergo should have an apostrophe? Ergo's supernatural energy as if they were part of her own. Or is that really meant as plural, but I think the plural is on the wrong word. Jesus fucking Christ, dude, I could spend 5 minutes trying to fucking fix this one goddamn sentence. Making her the most powerful weapon that Nathaniel has at its disposal against the darkness. That I actually misread. That was actually correct. Good lord. It's like, how would I even fix this sentence? I feel like you need to take out the not only and but also, because, like, there's already multiple things in the not only. So it's a not only to be, like, the not only is self-defeating to begin with. The bearer is trained to be a remarkable fighter in her own right, and has outstanding magical knowledge. In addition, she can use Ergo's supernatural energies as if they were part of her own. How about that? That's a small start at breaking one extremely flawed sentence into 2 sentences that make a little bit more sense. And here we have Ergo Mundus. Ergo Mundus, the so-called should be hyphenated, calamity of the world, is an enigmatic, immortal entity who centuries ago, there's so many places they should have commas that they don't, triggered a conflict that almost plunged the world into a total state of chaos, almost as much as the grammar in this game does. After being stopped through the combined efforts of Nathaniel and other great powers in the world, Ergo's, again, it's like, does this font just not have apostrophes? Ergo's physical body was so shattered that to avoid his destruction it was forced to hide his soul in an artifact known as the Book of Void. That sentence still doesn't make sense. Jesus fucking Christ, people, get a fucking copy editor. This is terrible. This writing is awful. Since that time, he has been under the close... This is supposed to be a remaster. They didn't bother remastering the writing, I expect. Or was it even worse than this in the first version? Since that time, he has been under the close supervision of the Order of Nathaniel, which agreed to allow Ergo to exist in that form in return for his assistance destroying other dark entities like himself. However, to do so, one condition is necessary. Someone must sign a pact with him. A contract that allows that individual to control Ergo's powers and, on unusual occasions, recreate a temporal body for him. That's what that button did. The Red Lady. Very little is known with an N at the end. We can do basic verb conjugation that a first grader would know of the true origins of the high sorcerer known as the Red Lady. Wouldn't it be sorceress? She's a lady. Other than for more than 20 years, has been the most efficient agent of Nathaniel. She has been the most efficient agent of Nathaniel. Why are there multiple problems with every single sentence that's written in this game? Holy fuck, people. I feel like you need to be paying me to play this, not the other way around. Her unmatched supernatural knowledge was the reason why Romeo Exit chose her to become the bearers with an apostrophe that's missing, master, and teach the little girl how to control Ergo's, with a missing apostrophe, powers. She was a strict tutor for the child, but the time that they spent together established a familiar bond between both. That seems a little weird. But in the time that they spent together, they established a familiar bond. Would make a little more sense. Like, the time is not what establishes the bond. That seems a little strange. I mean, like, yeah, I guess you could kind of hand-wave that, but it still seems weird. Lady has cold and ironic humor that distances her from the people. Like, cold and ironic is not the subject there. Those are adjectives. Humor is the subject. It's singular, therefore distances her from the people. But with a strict sense of duty that always forces... you have no excuse for fucking that one up. That always forces her to complete her missions at any cost, even if that means putting her own life in danger. With the fall of the Empire, that's missing, Lady... It's not the fall of the Empire, Lady. No, it's with the fall of the Empire, lady, who was the subject of the next part of the sentence, became really disillusioned. Not very disillusioned, not incredibly disillusioned, really disillusioned, which, again, we're talking like first grade writing level here, with mankind. And soon after that, she vanished for a year, just to reappear stealing the Biblos from Nathaniel, something that none, even her own pupil, has been able to understand. That should probably be no one as two separate words, not, no, like... yeah, none, I guess none kind of works, but again, it feels weird. Yeah, okay, so the writing in this game sucks. They need to hire somebody who actually knows how to write English. I don't know what the first language for this is. Like, it's like, should I change the system language and see if it, like, makes the writing less shit? Let's try changing it to Spanish. And I have not tried to read Spanish in, like, 20 years, but we're gonna look at it anyway. Because, holy crap. Poco se sabe del verdadero origen de la alta hechicera conocida como Dama Roja, salvo que durante más de 20 años ha sido el agente más eficiente del Nathaniel. So let's see. This is saying little is known. Little is known of the true origin of... I don't know what hechicera is off the top of my head. Oh, alta hechicera, so like the high whatever. Because she had like a high position, right? Known as... I wonder if conocida como is correct or not. It might be. Like, again, my Spanish is super rusty. Save for... Durante más de 20 años... Save for during more than 20 years. That seems weird? I guess it kind of works, but I'm wondering if durante is the best word for that. But again, I can't really critique Spanish because I'm super rusty at it. Let's check out this next sentence. Es la razón por la que Romeo Exet la eligió para convertirse en la profesora de la portadora y enseñar a la pequeña a controlar los poderes de Ergo. So, like, both of those verbs are in the infinitive, but they're both coming after para, so that might actually be right. Fue una tutora muy estricta para la chiquilla, pero el tiempo que pasaron juntas hizo que se formara. That's interesting. I feel like this is conjugated differently than the English one is. Because it says se formará un estrecho vínculo entre los dos. Entre los dos. Las dos, that's correct. Like, this is saying that, like, the time that passed... Like, se formará un estrecho... Like, that... Maybe that is still using time as the subject, though. So it might be just as wonky as the English, actually. Alright, I'm gonna stop trying to analyze this in Spanish, because I would need to really refresh my memory on the language. Oh, hechicera is sorceress, okay. Also, you don't speak Spanish. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot or anything. I know you know Portuguese. I'm saying Spanish is the only other language out of the set that I have ever studied, but the problem is I haven't studied it in multiple decades. Alright, we read all of the lore, right? So, unless was there any other submenu there that had other stuff in it? There's nothing in there. There's nothing in... Yeah, no, we read all of it. Alright. I've never had a game's writing drive me so batty as to make me switch language and see if it seems better there. You can assign weapons or artifacts in the stats menu. What did I just obtain? Ensis. So I guess that's an artifact. I don't know what the heck it is. Wait, what? I still don't know what it is. Oh, okay, it is showing stat differences there. So it increased our combat, our critical, and our critical damage. Yeah, well, so I guess, like... Yeah, I imagine a lot of words are going to be similar, but I guess sometimes conjugations and structures might be different from what I recall. Like, I recall reading a couple of articles about, like, comparing the two and, like, how much knowledge is transferable. I can't destroy barrels? You gotta be kidding me. I could destroy boxes, though. I mean, if anything, with games that I've played recently, the barrels should just blow me to smithereens as soon as I attack them. Alright, so that was that thing. Where are we actually going? Also, I do have 3... That was the wrong button. Okay, so you can actually hold dodge and keep running, and that's our stamina meter. That's the bottom red one. But yeah, there was another game I played this week. Oh yeah, it was Beat of Rebellion, which is Italian developed, but it's only available in English. I wouldn't have been able to evaluate the Italian, but I would have to imagine that if they had actually made Italian available as a language, it would have been better. The English was pretty wonky. That. Why did that just make like an like a very stock electricity sound effect? Alright, hang on. Were there 2 ways to go here? Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button. But it's kind of funny, because when you switch character, it also kind of functions as a dash, and it even consumes stamina. I know pronunciations would definitely be different between Spanish and Portuguese, too. Oh, hello. I kind of wish I had, like, a better attack for taking out groups, but I guess that works. Oh, does that have splash damage on it, actually? I didn't mean to switch character. I'm kind of waiting for the game to introduce that before I do it. Oh, and also, I'm getting health back from them, I guess? I didn't realize that's what I was getting back. I assumed it was some kind of currency or experience. Nice. Chased him as he was getting knocked away. The slow-mo at the end is really weird because, like, there's no sound to accompany it, so it just looks kind of glitchy. It's like, is that supposed to be happening? There's another thing up there. Wait, I can double jump. Okay. Surprise. You can use or... Why does everything look the same, though? Like, that looked the same as the other thing I picked up, and the other thing I picked up was equipment, and that was a consumable. Yeah, I took one look at those and I was like, oh god, this is almost French. You can use or equip consumable items in the items menu. Okay. Oh, it's telling me to actually do it now. Now press Y to equip a consumable... Why am I pressing Y? Okay. And then you press the slot you want? Yeah, okay. Y is an interesting choice. I want to go back in there. Okay, so, and if things are equipped to your slots, the D-pad slots, that also counts as equipped. Okay. Oh, there's just a time... That's weird. It doesn't go away immediately. There's like a 1-second timer on it going away after you press the button. Okay, and if you press equip on a weapon or something, it will actually, like, jump you to the other page that you can equip it on. It doesn't jump you to the right slot, though. It jumps you to the first free slot, it looks like. Yeah. So it doesn't take into account if it's already equipped to highlight it, which would seem like the sensible thing to do. So that's still weird. Like, really basic UI quality of life considerations that they didn't consider. I don't know if there's ever a good oh, I can't go in there? Okay, I can't go in there, apparently. I don't know if there's ever anything to gain from destroying crates. Oh, he has very different attacks. One thing that I wanted to find out is, like, do they share the same life meter? And I'm assuming they do. That's all that was over here, right? You can't go that way anyway. Whoa, that's weird. Holding the, oh wait, no. If I let go completely, it stops, but like you can't really turn super sharp. You have a very wide turning arc if you're running. Did I hurt myself? Yup, alright, cool. Oh, now I can test it. She got hurt so little that it's hard for me to tell. They might share a life bar. It does seem like your different attacks take different amounts of stamina. Yeah, like the dash attack definitely takes more. I was wondering if you could like get away with using that as a cheaper form of dash. I just dashed right by that guy. I have to imagine this is probably a little annoying to look at on stream. It's like, I'm not surprised when the camera moves as soon as I kill something when I'm auto-aiming. But yeah, that's probably the thing that I saw in a review was saying was much improved in this version, is that auto-aim actually, like, moves to another target properly now. Oh, we found a loading transition. Taken road. Oh, now they're telling me how to sprint. Like, dude, I figured that out a long time ago. Okay, well, this is pretty. It definitely has, like, a more glowy, almost cel-shaded look to it than you would get out of the, well, I'm trying to think how much bloom the Nier games had. Because they probably still had bloom. Hey, Mike. How much stuff there is to find here. Damn, when it gets dark, it gets really dark, though. Also, aren't we supposed to have a map? Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, and we have the mini-map, too. And if you press Y, it brings you to the current map. Okay. The problem is, it's kind of, why does it say select? Oh, because that lets you pan and stuff. Oh, you can zoom in. I kind of wish it was, like, not semi-transparent. Like, if I'm in the map menu, it feels like I should be able to just, like, look at it easily. Alright, but there's a couple of side paths. Wasn't there supposed to be... You're telling me how to lock onto enemies now? Oh, shit. I was gonna use my button, and then I forgot which button it was. Whoa. Excuse me. Where did you go? Is it just gone? Did it self-destruct? Wait, no. Why does Red Lady have a life bar? Look, I just want to explore this place, okay? Leave me alone.
I don't feel any traces of energy here. She must have taken another path. If you don't move your pretty ass soon, we will lose her.
As opposed to if you don't, you move your ass pretty soon. Why did it just show her for no reason there? I guess she was, like, you know, quietly disregarding Ergo.
Did you know I don't like water that much? Maybe being sealed in a book for so long has affected me after all.
Okay, well, we got a thing, so... Going through the water was worth it. Where did my other items go? That's an artifact. Increases our defense. By the way, green on tan isn't super great contrast. Also, real talk, like, I don't know if there actually is a bug with this font disappearing, no! Look at this shit! There's an apostrophe right there, so it's not a font bug. There are apostrophes, it's just whoever wrote all of the lore doesn't fucking know how to use them. Because there were, like, no apostrophes in the lore, even though there should have been all over the place. But also, this is interesting. And you can actually change that. Wait. Okay, but it's, oh, that's energy cutter. That's where that is. Alright, and then on air. Okay, but that's left. That's the thing that's the air thing. Yeah, okay. So it makes sense that that's not bound on air. But you have air beam though. Wait. Oh, and there is a dive attack. Okay, so I didn't realize you have situational skills and you can rebind them and stuff. So I'll have to try that. These two sets are the same though. At least for now. There's also, like, no water sounds, I think? That seems kind of silly that you didn't think of that. But yeah, weren't we supposed to have a mini-map? Because, like, I don't see a mini-map. Was that in here? Show mini-map. Checked. Where? Oh, it's in the bottom right. It's, like, 2% opacity. It's completely fucking useless. Alright, cool. So it's semi-transparent in the big map if you go into the menu. And it's basically invisible. Like, they need to... Whoa! I didn't even mean to do that. Wait a minute. So that's not just a launcher, that's actually a projectile attack. I did not even realize that. Also, apparently we're playing like a 3D version of the reflection level of Celeste. Because that's, I mean, we're fighting someone who flies around.
You're too pushy, my dear.
Well.
Wow, an existential barrier. And one of substantial power, if I may say.
Suggestions?
I sense 3 seals that support the barrier nearby. We must go back and find them if we want to move on. Don't worry. I'll make them visible for you, baby.
Alright, babe, can you make the minimap actually visible too? That would be great. Okay, I don't know where the hell that one is. But the other ones are probably in the dead ends I was just in. Also, there's a thing over here. I honestly don't know if that was just health or if it was actual something. Oh, I was too low on energy to do this. Let's not focus on them. Let's go over here first.
One down, 2 to go.
Oh, I just had to attack them? Okay. So yeah, this was where I was already. Okay, so when you're in a dark spot, you can actually see the map, and then you can see that it's showing enemies on it too, actually. Oh, that was an awfully fast wind-up you had there. I thought I would actually have a chance to react to that, or preempt it. Okay, they didn't give a shit that I was attacking them, they just attacked anyway. Yeah, it seems like you just gain HP back every time you kill an enemy. Which seems surprisingly lenient. Okay, there's another one. Can I actually hit that from here? No, not... Where the hell? It's just moving behind her. Eh. Oh, it does have a life bar. Okay, it's just that the cutter is strong enough to one-shot it. Okay, so that was the one that I didn't know where the heck the camera was showing. I see the other one over here. that's another item. You can't, like, rapid fire it. That's kind of not great. Seems like you should be able to commit multiple at once.
Baby.
What? Why baby all the time? Like, alright, Austin Powers. I'm glad they don't, like, lock out the main attack, even if you're low on stamina. But yeah, if you're running around a lot, you're not going to be able to use anything but the most basic attack, probably. This where? Yeah, this is where we were going. Is there anywhere that I didn't explore? There were actually quite a few dead ends over there. I technically look at all those. Like maybe I should go check them again. Yeah, so like when it's a dark backdrop, the minimap is fine. It's totally visible. But once you're against anything brighter than pitch black, you're not going to be able to see it. Makes it pretty useless. I don't think there's any, like, leftover buttons that I could potentially use to, like, make it stand out more. You know, because, like, a lot of games will have a button that, like, switches how big the minimap is or something. Imagine there's nothing here. Yeah, no, nothing there. This was... That might have been where one of the things was. That arrow is probably indicating where I came from. I want to say I already looked over here. That was where the other one was. Alright. Okay, so you do... It's weird how running works. Oh, geez, they just keep respawning, huh? It's weird how running works, because it, like, keeps... It, like, consumes a certain amount every, like, second, or maybe a little less than a second. But then it's always recharging. So it actually doesn't run out for a while. But it will eventually run out. And then it will stop. It won't, like, resume again when you have enough. That would probably be awkward anyway. That was weird. It, like, panned out the camera, but that wasn't the loading zone. It was, like, 2 steps later. Wait, so that did 8? Oh. Okay, so that did kill it in 2. I thought it took me 3 once, but it might have been because I, like, hit one of the projectiles instead. Oh, we got the slow-mo because that was the only enemies in the area. We never got the slow-mo in the previous area because they kept respawning. So I want to see something. Do we have... Our experience is 0. So yeah, everything we've been picking up is health. How the hell do you get experience, then? Or is the demo just locking us at level 1? That would seem kind of silly. What are you?
This one seems more fun than the others. Come on, let me out.
Shut up!
Party pooper.
You gotta get out of there, like, right away. Like, you can't even do a second attack. Unless he does that. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Also, they're not tutorializing how to let him out, but it's this button. Oh, they do have separate life bars. Okay. I'm surprised that didn't hit me. Oh, that was silly. Like, he was charging up and then I dashed into it. I wonder if I could have swapped back before sucking in the health to heal the other character, but it's okay. I saved this, so I can just use that. That's like a full heal right there. But yeah, why did I miss a tutorial message saying how to switch characters? Because, like, seemed like it was begging for me to do that, but they've tutorialized everything else. Why are you guys back? Why are there so many of you? And now they're gone again. What the hell is going on? Alright, well, I got all of them again. Unless that's the other side. No? Pretty sure that's back where I came from. I should be going this way. This is where we just fought the guy. Where am I going? Oh, up there. This is the problem with how high you jump, and I gotta remember you have a double jump too. So yeah, they actually want you to go up here. Makes the pathfinding awfully obtuse. Now they're telling you to double... Dude, I couldn't get to this point without double jumping. Are you serious? They're really only telling you about that now. Okay, technically you can get up there without a double jump. You're really not likely to. Man. Like, there are just so many extremely obvious issues with this demo. They're both full. That's a really awkward perspective to try to do that. Like, please don't lock the camera. I'm just gonna... Oh, I did that too early. Why are we just doing this over and over again? This is extremely silly. Oh, I see. It's two different meters, too. The white meter is what controls your projectiles. Okay, great. We did it. That seemed really silly. I guess I'm not going over there? Yeah, I guess not. So what's supposed to be your chi or whatever? Like, which one is which then? I assumed one of them was stamina. Because you got regeneration for each of them. I would assume magic is the white one.
What is this place? I've never read anything about such ruins here.
I don't know. But whatever it is, I feel something ancient.
Yeah, that launches them even from that far away, wow. And those two attacks put together will just... is just enough to completely finish them off. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. Figured I would try it. You just unceremoniously just plop. At least it made a sound effect. But it's like, for people to call this a noticeable improvement over the originals had to be actively bad. Because, like, this isn't... This is, like... Wow, I almost stabbed myself off a ledge. Like, this feels extremely minimal in terms of serviceability. Whoa, okay. Oh. What the... Holy crap, dude. Do I have to do the whole thing over? They just knocked me right off the ledge there, and I almost did it to myself. What? I pressed the lunge button, and it didn't lunge. Excuse me? I'm gonna die now. Because this keeps setting me backwards. And one mistake just costs you all of your health. Well, no, multiple mistakes in a row cost you all of your health. Okay, they're actually, like, super lightweight, though. Oh, and they will aim up at you. So you can also misdirect them that way. I almost dodged into that. How am I not hitting you exactly? Oh, you intercepted that. Okay. I don't think sprinting helps your jumping at all either. I'm just gonna double tap them, that way if one of them hits the, their projectile.
Lady.
Surprised they didn't give me health there.
I expected to have a little more time, Bearer of Calamities. The Biblos is not ready yet.
What do you want?
Hey, Gambit. Oh, you've played the original?
I don't want anything, my dear. I'm just an instrument of salvation. But I don't expect someone like you to understand
No
that.
mouth movements.
But you, my dear, were a fool for coming here. This whole place was built for only one purpose. To seal the very core of your power.
Uh-oh.
You look frightened, dear. Are you afraid of monsters again?
Monsters? Those are no monsters. Let me show you what a real monster is.
Monster is whoever decided that none of the lore needed apostrophes in it.
Ergo.
And commas.
I love it!
Now we're playing as this guy. Okay. Well, the good news is we don't need our health, because now we're using this guy's health bar. Now they tell you about... So this is so silly, because again, like, 10 minutes ago, this Ergo was like, let me out! But they didn't give you the tutorial about how to switch characters until this fight, where they force you to switch characters. So the one that came out 3 years ago would have been the second game, I believe, because I think this originally came out around 2016 or so. So there's 2 games, and the remaster is going to include both of them. But while it seems like the remaster, from what I have read, improves on, like, camera controls, tweaks, like, some combat balancing aspects and stuff, it seems like there's a lot of stuff they didn't address. At least if I am to assume that, like, the loading zones are as weirdly placed as they are in this version and the old one, and if the localization is the same in terms of, like, nearly every sentence in a lot of the lore pieces just being poorly constructed and having grammar issues. Oh, I have my life back. Oh, actually, she got her life back because all the enemies got their stuff absorbed. Oh, he shoots purple stuff. Alright, cool. Oh, nice. He actually has, like, a good 4-hit combo. I don't know that she has... Yeah, isn't hers just a 3-hit? Oh my god, dude. I'm just gonna get hit by everything. That really should have targeted the dude closer to me. And this time it didn't target anyone? That's weird. There's another dude right there. It had no problem targeting 180 degrees away last time. But yeah, I like his 4-hit combo. That seems like an improvement.
Impressive. And to think that you only have a fragment of your true power. I guess this leaves me no choice but to interfere.
Oh, now we're actually fighting her. I mean, she had a life bar before. Oh, that's cheating. There was like no warning on that attack. Whoops, I did that really poorly timed. Oh, okay, suddenly fixed camera. She's just like in random places laughing at us. Oh, okay, that's where she is. It's really easy to freaking run out of stamina though. Yeah, I figured I should get out of there. Oh, I interrupted her. Where are you? That looks bad. I just did extra damage to her anyway. What? Okay, I'm over here now. I thought there were railings around the edge. How did I end up falling off? Apparently this is an OSHA violation arena. She's still on top of something, right? She's just waiting for that to connect. Where are these coming from, actually? Okay, so, like, she's firing them each time that she warps, I guess. I overcommitted. Oh, okay, there are no railings. No, it actually is an OSHA violation arena. Also, this time we didn't get fixed camera for some reason. And now she's going all out. Actually, I should just focus her. If she's gonna stick around. Fortunately, the auto-targeting is still on her. How did I miss? That's it. The fight just ended.
Shouldn't have underestimated the power of the calamity. But it matters not. The ritual is complete.
Is it,
What
though?
is this all about, lady?
It seemed to be taking
don't
forever, but now
understand
it's complete.
Oh, but you will, my dear. Everything is about to begin. Ugh! You should not be!
Who are you?
Oh, it's nameless.
Baby, this guy's no joke. His power is too much for you.
I know.
But we're gonna fight him anyway. Oh, it's Virgil. So, time for a scripted loss, probably? The immediate teleport is pretty rude. I would like to, like, for once in my life, actually have stamina left over. I hope there's upgrades for that.
Too late.
What? What?
Look out! 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 Look
Instantaneous loading screen, and then thank you for playing. We finished the demo of at least the first one. There might be demos of both, though. Thank you for playing. This concludes the demo of Anima. Well, it does say of Anima Gate of Memories 1 and 2 Remaster, so I don't know. But this is only the first step of your journey. Get the full game to continue the adventure where you left off and dive into an epic story full of challenges and mysteries alongside the Bearer of Calamities and Urga Mundus. Yeah, the only challenge here... Well, there's two challenges. One is actually ever having stamina remaining. And I have to wonder if the original game had the same problem, because I think... forget if the review I was reading in the demo said that they actually made dashing take more stamina, which seems like the worst possible thing to do. The other challenge is me putting up with the myriad grammatical and sentence structure issues in every single fucking screen of text in the video game. Because holy shit, the writing needs a really, really serious workover. I'm gonna get the full game because I want to see what if there is a price listed. That actually opened the Steam window, okay. Release date is November 7th. Actually, how much did the originals cost? Not that I would pick up the originals right now, because, I mean, if they're even worse... Anima Gate of Memories is $20, and Nameless is another $20. So prepare for this to cost at least $40, and no, there is no fucking way that I am paying $40 for this in the state that it's in. It's like, if you're lucky, this is worth $20 between the pair of games. Oh, so you played both, okay. The Nameless wasn't as solid or as in-depth. It's funny because, like... they phrase this title support autosaving. Even that message is wrong. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like the way that it's titled, it makes you feel like the Nameless Chronicles is gonna be like a DLC or something, but it's a whole standalone thing. And the way that they phrase 1 and 2 Remaster on this, they're positioning Nameless Chronicle as if it is number 2. It's like, this is your select screen. Like, this is what the 1 and 2 Remaster is. That's 1, that's 2. So can I actually go into this? Not available in demo. Okay, no. The extent of the demo was just this. It's like... I feel like you can only possibly be interested in this from, like, a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of perspective, where you are going to lampoon the living shit out of it the entire way. Because, holy crap... calling this mediocre was being generous, I feel like. It's like... It would be nice if the demo at least gave you a sense of, like, what kinds of things would be expandable and upgradable, because, like, there's no leveling in the demo, so you don't get any kind of sense of how the leveling system works. Because the first thing I want to know is, can I make it so that I don't run out of stamina every 2 seconds, and basically I spend all my stamina just getting to an enemy, and then I want to do things and I can't. Although I have to remember that the magic meter is separate. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel terribly satisfying. It feels more frustrating than satisfying to me. And it's like, why would you spend $40 on this when you could play Nier Automata? Basically. Or the original Nier, but for the... Actually, wait, no, yeah, right, Nier Replicant is a thing now on modern consoles and PC, right? I forgot about that. I actually haven't played Nier Replicant. But I was able to get a copy of the original Nier for Xbox 360, and I played it that way a few years ago. And, like, I said that, like, yeah, Nier is a lot rougher than Nier Automata, but Nier is still... I would classify Nier as far more competent than this. So, if you're the kind of person who hasn't played Nier, and part of the reason you haven't played Nier is because, like, all of the things you've heard about it have, like, sort of, like, shooed you away from it. If you've played this, you can play Nier. Nier is pretty much, hands down, across every possible axis, better than this game. I can say that pretty confidently, based on what I saw of the remaster and the demo. Yeah, so I can't see myself rushing to wishlist this or anything. But maybe a few years down the road, if there's ever, you know, a frickin' fire sale on it for like $10, maybe I'll think about it. But that's assuming I don't have anything better to do. It's definitely on that tier of like, I would only play this if I had nothing better to do. So that's unfortunate. You know, I wanted to give, you know, given that it's a remaster, I wanted to give it a shot to see if it's in, you know, decent shape, but it kind of really still isn't. There are many things that are still very lackluster about it, seemingly. No, I don't even mean Automata. I mean OG Nier, which everybody considers to be, like, demonstrably... Like, Automata is great. Automata had Platinum Games working on it. They know what they're doing. The first Nier was not nearly as great mechanically as Automata, but it's still better than this. That's what I'm saying. So yeah. Oh well. This one's kind of a dud to me.